Did we read the book?
Yes.
Did we understand it?
Debatable. Welcome to Reading Between Lines.
Where the books are questionable.
The opinions are strong.
And the wine is absolutely necessary. I'm Cici.
And I'm Mariana, and today we have thoughts.
So many thoughts.
So pour yourself something strong.
Gonna read it.
Let's uncork this week's read. So, tell me, what are we drinking today?
Today we're drinking a rosé on the beach. Fun, emotional, and way more layered than it first appears. And we're talking about Cool for the Summer by Dahlia Adler. It follows Larissa, a high school senior who has spent years crushing on the popular boy Chase, and when he finally starts showing interest in her, it seems like everything she ever wanted is falling into place. Except she's hiding a secret from the summer. While vacationing with her mother, she met Jasmine, a girl who challenged everything Larissa thought she knew about herself. What started as a friendship quickly turned into something deeper, leaving Larissa with feelings she isn't sure how to understand or explain. When Jasmine unexpectedly transfers to Larissa's school, Larissa is forced to confront the emotions she's been trying to ignore. Torn between the future she always imagined with Chase and the connection she feels with Jasmine, Larissa begins a journey of self-discovery that challenges her assumptions about love, identity, and what it means to be true to herself. Okay, Mariana, what did you think this book was going to be before you started?
I thought this was just going to be like a cute summer love triangle because I figured that's what was going to happen with like a very predictable ending. When I was reading the back, she was initially going for this guy that she's had a crush on for like 6 years or something, Chase. And then someone comes in and questions it all. So I was like, okay, there's going to be like a love triangle, but they're going to end up together. Like something's going to happen. Everyone claps and roll credits. But instead, Dahlia Adler hit me with a bisexual awakening panic, identity struggles, and every high school insecurity that I forgot existed. I was traveled back in time to high school. This book literally took me back to that moment when I was a teenager where I felt like I was overthinking every text message, every interaction I ever had with anybody, and every version of myself that I thought people wanted me to be. So it brought up a lot of memories. What about you? What did you think this book was going to be before you started?
You know, a cute summer romance, a predictable love triangle. And what I got was a story about identity, first love, and figuring out what you actually want instead of what you think you're supposed to want. I was honestly expecting a girl chooses between boy and girl story, but it ended up being much more about Larissa choosing herself and being honest about who she is, even though she does. Spoiler alert, she does end up with the girl, obviously. But by the end, she was like, oh, this is who I am. When she was still fighting her feelings for Jasmine, it was mostly about like what she thinks she was supposed to want.
I never thought that she was fighting her feelings for Jasmine. I think she knew she liked her. She just wasn't sure if Jasmine liked her. She knew what she wanted. She just wasn't sure if people were going to be accepting of it.
That's what I mean. She knew what she wanted. She was fighting it because of what she was expected to want. Even when she came back from like summer vacation, right at the first like chapter, Chase starts talking to her in the hallway of the school. And Shannon immediately goes like, oh my God, he's talking to you. You can see that Larissa is like, I don't know about this anymore. But because Shannon kind of pushes it and it's like, but it's what you always wanted. She's like, yeah, I guess I'll just give it a go. But you can see from like the start that she's already not into it.
I think she was just a teenager.
If you had to pick one quote to summarize the book, what would it be?
My quote comes from right at the end of the book. Larissa works at a bookstore, and the bookstore was going to be hosting one of her favorite authors. Jasmine had told her, like, I'll be there. So Jasmine was sitting in the seats. The author was there answering questions about young authors and things like that. Larissa is actually writing a book on the side. She based it basically off of her imaginary life with her and Chase, the idea of it. But she also brings in secondary characters, and now she's questioning the story, the narrative on how she's writing it. So she asks her favorite author, what if the way I started the book is not the way I want it to end? And the author replies with, just because you're telling a good story doesn't mean it's the right story. And I think that it's really important to tell the right story. And I think that that is the underlying message of the whole book. And I really like that quote. What about you? What quote would you pick if you had to summarize?
I will tell you in a minute.
That's all right. Do you ever miss the original Jersey Shore?
Not really.
Snooki was like my spirit animal in high school. We used to gather at my friend's house every Thursday when it came out, and he'd make us Vietnamese pho, or I think they call it pho. Really good. He used to make that for everybody, and we'd have like Jersey Shore watch day. It was awesome. Anyways, if you had to pick one quote to summarize the book, what would it be?
This is from Larissa. She says, with Jasmine, I don't have a list, and I don't want to follow her anywhere. I want to go everywhere together. I want to do things with her. I want us to make that list. I thought that was really cute.
That is really cute.
It was her coming to terms with what she wanted instead of what she thought like everyone else wanted for her.
Yeah.
Do you think this is box wine or Vineyard Elite?
I think that the way the author wrote made you feel like a kid again. It was Vineyard Elite. You know me, I'm a dark romance reader. These are not my style books. It's very like lovey, like gooey and stuff, and I'm just like, tie me up and throw me over your shoulder. This, you know, I was like a bit fluffy. It was like, meh. But it had emotional depth. She managed to capture that. The strong character growth. She showed how actual conversations about identity felt more genuine than performative. So I think it handles the teenage brain very well. She portrays it very well. What about you? Did you think this was box wine energy or Vineyard Elite?
This is definitely an in-between book. Remember when I talked about Fangirl? When you finished a very heavy emotional book, and then you go into like a in-between book like this one. It's fluffy, it's cute, you read it in like a day if you're a fast reader or if you have no responsibilities, no jobs or something like that. You can read it in a day. And it's just like, it's a palate, what do you call it?
Palate cleanser.
That's it. This is a funny, cute little romance. It's not Vineyard Elite, but it's definitely not box wine either. It's just like a in-between one.
And you can definitely read this in one day. This book is like 200 to 300 pages long. Anybody can read this in a day.
If you have nothing else to do, yes, you can do it in a day. But if you have other responsibilities, then no, you cannot read this in a day.
I read Alchemize like a day and a half, and that book is over 1,000 pages long.
I think you're forgetting that people have jobs, they have kids, they have to feed, they have dogs that they have to walk. They can't just be there reading it for 3 hours or 4. Like, they can't do that.
Why get up at 5 a.m.? Start your days early. Come on.
Well then, who annoyed you more?
You may not necessarily agree with me, but I didn't like Shannon. We all know high school is basically a competitive sport disguised as an educational institution, but Shannon's entire personality literally felt like she needed to be the main character in everyone else's story. That's how I felt. The thing that annoyed me the most wasn't...
Sorry, I disagree.
I know you do, but she always had to say something, like in a conversation. Like she always had to like butt in, or like say, I know this better, or I'm do my makeup better, I have nicer clothes, I'm popular.
When
like
you have to say that? When? Give me moments where she's like that.
She flaunts it, and like she thinks she's better than everyone else.
Okay, tell me moments. Tell me when did she do that?
I didn't highlight it in the book, but it was just like, it's just like, this is how...
Do you know why you felt that way? Because Larissa was telling us that Shannon was like this.
You're telling me you're friends for 10 years. Larissa has known Shannon for 10 years. Larissa starts to become more confident, more sure of herself, and everyone says to her, you've changed, you've grown. Like, she cut her hair without asking Shannon for advice, blah, 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 all of this, whatever. And as soon as Shannon starts to feel like she doesn't need her anymore, she tries to replace her with Jasmine. Not even in a nice way, because they made snide jokes and comments on the side multiple times, about Larissa while she was standing right there.
I only remember one time that they did that, and it was the dance one.
They also did it earlier in the book at a party. For me, personally, Shannon is exactly the kind of person that most of us knew in high school. The friend that's always keeping secret agendas and keeping score and treating social statuses like it's the fucking Olympics. And somehow, you know, like turning every moment back to themselves. This scene literally gave me flashbacks that I did not ask for. I knew a person like this. And it was somebody that I was very close to, and like, this happened. You gotta put it into my perspective. As someone who usually reads dark romance, where people commit actual crimes, Shannon still managed to annoy me more than like half of the people that I've read those things about. That's honestly impressive.
If you really think about it, that's actually an insane take. I think it comes from what Larissa is telling us, the reader, what she thinks Shannon is.
No, but Shannon and Jasmine were actively commenting and making fun of her.
You saying this about Shannon, then Jasmine is the same, because Jasmine did the exact same thing.
But Jasmine was doing it for different reasons.
Shannon literally admits
She knew Shannon for 10 years.
Shannon was doing it because she was hurt. She felt like Larissa was keeping secrets because she could tell something was off. She could tell that. So she was doing that also to get attention. But it's okay for Jasmine to do it. For Shannon, God forbid Shannon does something. Before you even meet Shannon, Larissa tells you, Shannon does this, Shannon says this, Shannon cares about what she wears more than anything else, blah, blah, blah. Shannon does this. Shannon is taking pictures with Parisian guys in Paris because that's all she cares about. This notion that Shannon is this way, it's already been given to you before you even meet Shannon. So you already have that perception of Shannon. But you don't have it of Jasmine because Larissa is in love with Jasmine. She is an unreliable narrator. The opinion she has of Jasmine influences the opinion you have of Jasmine, and the opinion she has of Shannon influences the opinion you have of Shannon, even though when you actually see the actions of both of them, they're not that different, and they come from a place of hurt.
I suppose, but my biggest argument is she's known Shannon for so much longer, and if she's describing her this way, why would we not? I mean, it is what she's doing, right? It is what she was doing.
So your opinion of this person that you've met is influencing the way you're seeing Shannon. Doesn't necessarily mean that Shannon is this way. I'm not saying she isn't. I just didn't see any evidence that she is. I'm sorry.
I saw evidence, so I remain with that. Clearly don't agree with my Shannon pick, but I have to know who annoyed you more.
Larissa. In a monologue, I've said this before, before we even met any of her friends, she's already trash talking them. And 5 minutes in meeting Jasmine, she's already telling that Jasmine is this, this, and that. And I'm like, girlie, you don't know this person yet. 5 minutes into meeting Jasmine, she's like, Jasmine is exactly like Shannon. She only cares about what she's wearing and designer clothes and everything. And that's not Jasmine. But she's putting judgment the minute she meets someone. And you're telling me she's a good person. Fuck off. Okay, and the way that she spoke about her friends, God forbid I have a friend like that. If any of my friends think of me the way that she thinks of every single one of her friends, that rubs me the wrong way. I've said this before. I love all my friends. They mean so much to me. They would never caught me thinking about my friends the way that she thinks about her friends. Because yes, sometimes you disagree with how people see things. You're not going to agree with everything your friends do. That's normal. I understand that. But I know my friends' heart and souls. And I think they're pretty. Their souls are pretty. So I might not agree with every single thing they think, but I agree with most of them. Because I know
And you would have the same opinion about your friends in high school?
I'd give them the discount of them being young. I do not talk to anyone that I knew back in high school.
Same.
I give them the discount of being young. When you're young, you do and say stupid things. Fair enough. But if we're talking about who annoyed me more, it was Larissa. The way that she spoke about them, she dissed them all the time. All the time. She's like, oh, Gia only cares about her boyfriend. Kiki only cares about mysteries. And like, she thinks she's like PI or something. And then Shannon only thinks about... At one point, she literally says, like, here's Shannon with another Parisian boy. Do you mind? She's living her hot girl summer. Leave her alone.
I will say that I know I did stupid things in high school. Probably frowned upon. We're going to get a story from Mariana before her 20s. So we had a recycling plant. That was right across the street from our high school. And it was beautiful, you know, people were recycling. It was a wonderful thing. I don't know why, but me and my friend decided it would be super funny to open a condom and put lotion in it to make it look like something and stick it on the door handle. We would just watch everyone's reactions to try and getting in because nobody would want to touch the handle. So people were driving all the way there to go drop stuff off to do recycling. And they would just be met with this question, like, why would someone do this?
So what you're telling me is that you prevented people from recycling, which saves the planet. Is that what you're telling me? Is that what you're telling me?
If anyone took the time to smell it, they would have known it was lotion.
Welcome to another episode of Is Mariana Okay? Maybe? Not really.
Do you think someone was going to pick up a condom and smell? If someone did that, real time, immediately.
Yeah, I did really questionable things in high school. You know, actually throughout most of my life. I would even say to this day. So,
Anyway, back to this. I have to say, the fact that she dragged Chase along, knowing damn fucking well that she was in love with Jasmine, pissed me off. I was like, don't make me side with a man. Well, the boy.
Chase did handle it really well.
Really well. Really well. That's not even insane. He literally said, okay, wait, I actually need to find it. What do you mean really well? Really well. That's crazy talk. He says, this is the bisexual thing, right? Not being able to choose. The bisexual thing is not being able to choose?
I just meant he handled it well, as in, like, he didn't take it.
The bar is so fucking low. What do you want him to say? Oh, you can't leave me? Girly, someone is leaving you. You're gonna be like, oh, go. My eye is twitching. Not being able to choose is a wild take. That is not what being a bisexual is. Not being able to choose. And then she says to me, to my face, he handled it really well. Handle what? What did he handle well? Because he ain't it.
He just accepted. He was just like, that's okay.
What did you expect him to say? Grab and be like, you can't leave me. This is the books you read.
Yeah, probably.
When
if
people
you,
are breaking
you
up,
leave, if you
like,
leave me, you die. I literally just told my partner that if I die, I'm going to have a stipulation in my will that all my closest friends are going to tell everybody they can that they have a disease.
Who has a disease?
My partner, so that nobody else can be with them.
Yeah, that's a normal reaction.
Includes you, so you're going to have to do half the work.
Will not be doing that, thank you so much.
It's in my will.
I don't understand English or Portuguese or any languages. I'm non-verbal. I don't understand anything. At that point, I don't understand anything. I'm actually dead. They won't be able to find me.
You wouldn't come to my funeral?
I'll be at your funeral.
Then you'll be trapped. I'll
be
have a stipulation be like, lock them all in until they agree.
I'll be disguised. They won't know who I am. Or I can agree and not do it.
How could you not do that for me?
Like this. Not doing it.
Rude.
Who do you relate to?
You're gonna hate.
And God, if you... Well, if you say Larissa, I'm gonna throw myself out of this window.
Larissa. Not because our experiences were the same, but because I understood her need for, like, validation. She spent years building this fantasy around Chase because if she gets him, she felt like it proved something about her worth. And I think a lot of us have moments when we chase an outcome because it feels safer than asking ourselves what we actually want. What about you? Who do you relate to more?
Honestly, Jasmine. She was clearly figuring herself out, and she doesn't always make the right choices. I think this book could have been solved with one fucking conversation, but she does everything with her heart at the forefront. Jasmine deserves all the flowers. She brought the chemistry, the emotional depth, and some of the best moments in the book. There's something really reliable about being brave enough to know what you want, but still being terrified of getting hurt. Jasmine isn't fearless. She just chooses honesty anyway. Well, sometimes, because at one point I was just like, Jasmine, can you just please
talk?
But I still like her. Again, I think she was honest when she had to be honest. When the whole thing happened.
It was basically like an ultimatum.
I think in her head, she was like, clearly this is all lost for me. Yeah. Because she's with Chase and she thought Larissa was really happy with Chase. But she was like, I'm going to still tell you what I feel, even though I know that you don't feel the same way. But she was wrong. But she thought she knew. So I think that was a really brave thing to do. Yeah. I think it's really brave for you to assume your feelings, even though you know that the other person doesn't feel the same way. But you're like, this is why I came here. This is why I did all of this. It was because of you. And I think that was a really brave thing to do. I really liked Jasmine. Although she annoyed me, but I liked her.
Do you have any honorable mentions or any side characters that deserve a shout out?
Listen, I always talk shit about parents. But not this time. Not this time. These are good parents. They obviously know what's going on between Jasmine and Larissa, but they don't push them to talk about it before they're ready. I think that's really beautiful. Larissa's mom, when Larissa is telling her she has feelings for someone, they said, look, I'm here for you no matter what. I just want someone who loves you, and that's all that matters to me. She doesn't make Larissa's sexuality a big thing, which is how it should be. All we want for our kids is for them to be healthy and happy. It shouldn't matter who they love, as long as that person is good to them. And at one point, Larissa says this about her mom, and I thought that was really beautiful. I learned a long time ago that was entire his loss, her dad. She's talking about her dad here. And my mom is enough awesome for 3 parents. I thought that was really cute. Also, even though Larissa spends half of the book judging them, her friends genuinely support her. After prom, Larissa is texting them and I need you guys to come here. They drop everything and they're like, we're there. I just think they show up for her over and over again. Now, I haven't done this in a really long time, but I have a question. At one point, Larissa, also, she annoyed me. She said that for Gia, when she's doing karaoke, Taylor Swift is her go-to. In addition to being a huge fangirl, she has no problem hitting the notes, but her performance always falls a little flat because she doesn't have the romantic anguish. Very few of those lyrics work when you're smiling happily at your boyfriend through them. And I have a challenge for us here. Let's name Taylor Swift songs that are happy and that you can sing to your partner when you're happy with them. I have a few. Okay, let me see. And my notes isn't working. Kinderella, please. I need you to work with me.
Kinderella.
I have Lover.
Oh, yeah.
Love Story.
Yeah, that would be on mine too.
Thank you. I have Mine.
Yeah, I love mine.
Enchanted.
Yes, favorite song.
You're in Love.
Okay.
You should sing that to your partner. I have Gorgeous.
Gorgeous.
Dress.
Okay.
New Year's Day.
Yeah,
But
I love that one.
I have Call It What You Want, Miss Americana, and Heartbreak Prince.
Yes.
Last two, London Boy.
Okay.
And I have Sweet Nothing.
Oh,
How would you not sing that to your partner?
I've been a Taylor Swift fan since I was in like elementary school, whenever she came out. I was gonna say Our Song.
Our Song is a really good one.
Yeah.
I love Our Song. I can't believe I didn't think of it.
Yeah, I love Our Song. She's got her cowgirl accent still, so she's like, Our song is a slam a screen door, late knocking on your window. I love it. Love it. I like also I'm Only Me When I'm With You.
Mm-hmm.
And then obviously Hey Stephen.
Good one.
And then obviously Enchanted, Fearless, and Love Story.
Of
Has
course.
to be. Mine
Mine is such a good song. Like, why would you not want to sing that to your partner?
and Long Live.
Yeah, I see what you mean. It is a good song to sing to your partner, but every time I sing it, I think of her relationship with her fans, so I just don't...
You can't connect it. Okay. Then I also think 22, and I know 22 is more of like an upbeat song about turning 22, but when I met my partner, I was 21 turning 22, and I just associate my birthday night. We were in Baigualto, and we were screaming 22 in the streets. I have, obviously, Call It What You Want, and also Lover, Cruel Summer, maybe Lavender Haze.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a good one, but I don't know if it's a happy song to sing to your partner.
Also, So High School. I like that one. And I know you're going to hate me for this, but literally every song on the Showgirl album, Life of a Showgirl album, love it. Anything from there. Love it.
Don't expose me like this. Now that the Swifties are going to come for me. Sue me, I don't like that album. Not that I don't like it, it's not my favorite.
It's one of my... I love it. I love her old school music. I also like Willow.
Oh my god, I didn't even do any from Folklore, which is one of my favorite albums.
Yeah.
Willow is one of my favorite songs, like, ever.
Yeah,
I
me
play
too.
it so much. Well, yeah, Willow is a really good one. I didn't do anything from Evermore. Do you realize that Taylor Swift does not like Evermore, right? She never mentions Evermore. It's crazy, it's ridiculous. Like, girly, show some love.
Yeah.
Okay, that was my question. Did you like it?
It was a trip down memory lane of Taylor Swift. I liked it. It was a good question.
Do you know what she sang? Blank Space.
Yeah, that was... Yeah, I remember. I was like, why would you sing that?
Blank Space to your boyfriend?
That doesn't make any
Okay.
sense.
You have so many good ones that you could pick.
And you picked Blank Space, Basic.
First of all, you're not a Swiftie. If you picked Blank Space, it's because you just know her most popular songs.
Yeah, exactly. You're not a true Swiftie. You don't know the good songs.
Yes. The deep...
Meaningful.
Oh no, this was One Direction. Niall was in... Do you know Shane? He's a TikToker, he has a podcast.
Mhm.
He had Niall there.
Okay.
Niall was like, do you like One Direction? And he's like, yeah girl, yeah I did. Everybody liked One Direction, what do you mean? And then he was like, oh, I know the deep cut One Direction songs. And do you know what they picked as a deep cut? As like, no one knows this song.
So you're a big 1D fan?
Yes, yes, it was. I was trying to make it my first concert, and my mom and I got into a really big fight, and I couldn't go. I was really upset.
So you know, if I start naming deep cuts, you're gonna know.
Yes, Diana.
Right, okay, alright, you know.
They picked Diana. Diana?
That's so well known.
I was just like, girly, everyone knows this song. What do you mean?
Oh my god, that's so bad.
Anna as a deep cut?
Still, you don't use that as an example for a deep cut.
That's crazy to me that you think Diana is a deep cut. Who doesn't know Diana?
Plebs.
But now Also, what do you think is a deep cut from One Direction? Moments from like their first album?
Yeah, I don't think anyone knew that song.
Oh, do you know what it is? More than this.
I knew that song, though.
Yes, I know, but like it's a deep cut, don't you think? I don't think most people will know. Tell Me a Lie.
I knew that one, too.
Again, it's a deep, but you're a One Direction fan. Are you a One Direction fan?
Yeah, I am. I used to have my
You are
Facebook
one-
banner was a picture of all of them.
Mine chick. So you are a One Direction fan. So you can't go from what you know. If I show it to my sister, she wouldn't know. That's a deep cut.
What about I Would?
I think I Would is also a deep cut. I think most of their first album, I don't think people would.
What about, like, Stockholm Syndrome?
That's not a deep
Nobody
cut.
knows it, though.
Everybody knows it. Another World. Na na na.
Yeah, that's a good one, though. I like that one.
Last First Kiss.
If I Could Fly.
No, everybody knows that
Come
song.
on.
My sister knows that song.
What about Never Enough?
Ooh, yeah. They don't know about us.
Yeah.
Deep cut as in Diana.
Such a
Crazy talk?
basic answer.
Crazy talk. I would say, I think most of their first album, probably. If I had to pick, I would pick More Than This. I love it, but I don't think a lot of people know it. But like most of their first album.
Yeah.
I think from their first album, people know Gotta Be You.
Oh, yeah.
Or What Makes You. That's it. That's what they know. You don't know. You don't know you're beautiful. That's what makes you beautiful. I remember so well being like in my little computer in my living room and watching Harry Styles being really nervous about singing this in the
X Factor?
yeah, when they went
I saw
back.
him on X Factor.
And they-
That's where I saw them grow.
Do you remember when they went back?
Yeah.
And he was really nervous.
Yeah.
And he was just like, maybe you might have found. He was just so straight. It's so cute. Oh my god, I miss One Direction.
I miss them so much, too.
And they're never gonna get back together.
Well, they can't. Didn't Zayn recently punch out Louis?
What? That is insane. What? I really wish I knew.
And, like, one of them is no longer with us. So,
Okay. Well, I don't want to cry on a Tuesday.
I'm just saying, like, they could never put the band back. It's not them anymore.
And if they were to get back together, it would be Liam. Like, if he was still here, you would be the one. I hate that people were so awful to him when he was alive. I just don't understand the hate of him going to Niall's concert or Harry Styles. Was it Harry?
I
Harry.
think it was Harry's.
And people just hating him for going to the concerts. Like, come on. And they were like, oh, he made this about themselves. Well, you were the ones that paid attention to him being there. Because if you didn't care, then you would just like be there enjoying his friends'
Which is
concert.
hilarious because no one gave Niall shit for attending Harry's concert. So
It's so annoying. And it's like, if Harry is not upset about it, if Niall is not upset about it, why would you be upset about it?
we're getting totally derailed.
Don't get me started on talking about One Direction because I will be here forever.
I know, me too. That's what I'm saying. We need to recalibrate.
Okay, do you have any honorable mentions?
I have kind of the same as you. All of the parents. Jasmine's mom knew from the second that she met Larissa. Jasmine's dad also knew. Like you said, when Larissa was talking to her mom about it, her mom was just like, meet someone who makes you happy. That's all I care about. It felt so not toxic for once, and it felt so refreshing for people to just be like, be happy. We love you. I also wanted to give an honorable mention to Kiki because first off, I like that she had a podcast called Kiki on the Case, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually wanted more of it. I was like, she is going to find out if the teachers are sleeping together and what happened. Like, oh my God.
I know. I was just like, so what did
I was like, I need more of Kiki on the Case. She needs her own book. It's so funny because she looks at the situation. Everything just clicked for her.
She went to Instagram. She was like, so this is okay. This looks very similar.
Yeah.
And then she was like, where does Larissa's mom work? Okay, where does Jasmine dad work? Oh, okay. Got it.
Figured it out.
Boom.
At one point, I genuinely wanted Kiki to just like pull Larissa into a room, start a presentation, and just go, Exhibit A, you're obviously in love. Like, I just wanted to see it.
We look at each other all the time.
It was weird because in the book, she was portrayed as kind of one of Larissa's side friends. I felt like she was closer with Shannon, and then Gia and Kiki were kind of just side
On the side.
friends. Like, they weren't talked about a lot. But I think that the way that Kiki stood up, for example, she asked Jasmine to the dance to show her support, like, it's okay if you want to be with a girl. Like, it's okay if you want to do whatever you want. She just wanted to show her that their friends would be accepting no matter what the situation. I love that.
And at that point, she didn't know for sure. And she does say to Larissa, like, we're just going as friends.
Yeah.
So she makes it clear. She's like not starting any drama. She's just like, see, everything's fine.
Would you want this relationship in real life?
I mean, Okay, I wouldn't mind it. Again, we all know how I feel about Larissa, and we all know how I feel about Jasmine. But their connection felt genuine, and it was built on actually seeing each other for who they are. They felt like two people who actually enjoyed each other's company rather than just being attracted to each other, which I think that was the case between Chase and Larissa. I think she was just attracted to him. I don't think she actually knew anything about him to be in love with him.
Mhm.
But with Jasmine, she knew Jasmine on a deep level and was in love with Jasmine. Same with Jasmine. They knew each other, they supported each other, even though they weren't talking at this point, because they had that big blowout where Jasmine said how she felt and everything. She was still there to support Larissa when her favorite author came to town. And I think that says a lot about who Jasmine is. Anyway, would you want this relationship in real life?
Yeah, I think so. Not because it's perfect, but because it felt like two people were genuinely trying to see each other, understand each other. Compared to a lot of the relationships I read about in my dark romance novels, this is like one of the most suspiciously healthy ones that I've read. Nobody's kidnapping anybody. Nobody's threatening anybody. Nobody owns a private island. It's refreshing.
Was the drama justified in your opinion?
For teenagers, yeah. As an adult, I mean, I'm not an adult. I'm a senior teen, okay? Let's relax. I was like a teenager, like,
Yes,
yeah, please. I would say, like, as me in my age now, I wanted to sit everyone down and just have an honest and open conversation. As someone who also remembers very vividly being 16, every single problem that Larissa or Jasmine, all the girls were facing, it felt so realistic. The drama wasn't coming from like villains. It was coming from like insecurity, fear, and uncertainty, which is like honestly worse because those are your self-inflicted fears. So yeah, I think it was justified for teenagers. What about you? Did you think this was justified?
Nah. But I get what you're saying. For teenagers, I get it. I've said this before. This could have been solved with one conversation.
But they're teenagers.
Hey, I agreed with you. I just said it. Yes, I hear what you're saying about teenagers. I heard you. I agreed. To be fair, a lot of it comes from Lara trying to understand herself. Is messy by nature. So I understand them being teenagers, her trying to figure herself out. She was confused, but there were moments where she made things harder than it needed to be. The thing about her with Chase, you could clearly tell that she wasn't into it. At one point, they went into a room. They were making out, right? And Chase was like, nothing has to happen. It doesn't need to go further than just like kissing. She then went down on him, and then he wanted to return the favor, and she was like, nah, thank you.
She was nervous.
Baby girl, no, she wasn't. She literally says in a monologue, I don't want to replace the last time someone did that for me. And the last time was Jasmine. She knew exactly, first of all, no one's gonna say no to that, okay? She knew why she was saying no. It was because of Jasmine, and she didn't want to replace Jasmine. So you know you are in love with someone else, or at least you like someone else more than you like Chase. Why are you bringing this boy into this mess? I didn't like that. Like you said, I spent a good amount of time of this book wanting to lock everyone in a room and force them to have a conversation. Hey, Lara. Hey, Jasmine. You both like each other. Talk.
I pulled this kind of shit in high school, so it's just teenage drama.
It is. It's understandable when you see it from a teenage view and when you see it from like a self-discovery point of view. I'm not judging. I'm just saying it could have been solved with one conversation.
Yeah, it could have, but you know, teenagers choose.
Then we wouldn't have a book, okay? We wouldn't. So, you know, it is what it is. Do you think this is a red flag or book boyfriend/girlfriend?
I think Chase is neither. I think he's more like a lesson. I feel like the entire point of having Chase in the book is a wider message of like sometimes we tend to like romanticize people because of what they represent, not because they're actually right for us. Again, like she didn't really know who Chase was for like the full 6 years of knowing him. She just knew the very surface level athlete part of him, and she cheered him on at games and shit like that. She knew nothing about him. So I think he was a lesson. I put Jasmine as a green flag, a summer green flag, because it was their summer fling. And I put Larissa as an in-between because I couldn't decide because there was times when she was making questionable choices. So what do you think? This was a red flag, a book boyfriend, girlfriend?
I have the same as you. I have Jasmine as a green flag. Chase, I didn't put him as a red flag. Put him more like you look better as a fantasy than as a reality situation.
Yeah.
Didn't like when Lara was admitting that she was interested in both him and Jasmine. Again, he said, this is the bisexual thing, right? Not being able to choose. Sir, absolutely not.
But it just goes to show you like how people don't understand.
They don't get
They-
bisexuals.
People in general, they just don't understand.
That's true. That being said, Chase is not the villain of this story. It's just not the love story. I think some people might make him as a bad guy because they are rooting for Jasmine. But honestly, I think Lara was the one making the situation messy. She dragged Chase into this when she could have just said from the beginning, look, I don't see this evolving to anything. Because clearly she wasn't into it. She just wasn't. She was always comparing him to Jasmine, from my point of view. And maybe my point of view, because I'm 30, I could see that she was already not into Chase and she was into Jasmine. But again, I give them their discount because they are young. Anyway, moments that made us laugh, cry, scream, anything that jumps out to you?
Every time when Larissa was reminiscing about how she was desperately trying to become the girl she thought Chase would want. So she was changing herself to be how Chase would want. And every time Lara was convinced nobody could figure out she liked Jasmine. Meanwhile, everyone, literally everyone, including me, the reader, had figured it out immediately from like the first chapter. We're like, oh, they're endgame.
She's like, I'm not interested. I'm like, who are you trying to lie to? Me? Because I ain't stupid. I was in bored last night.
What about you? Did you have any moments?
I have a moment that made me want to stop reading completely. Want me to take out my skin. And it wasn't me in that moment. Thank goodness. I'm going to repeat myself when I say this. Because I think it's mostly because they are teenagers. But even when I was a teenager, if someone had done this to me, I would immediately walk out. When Lara goes to one of Chase's games, she blows him a kiss. He catches it. And then smashes it right into his mouth. First of all, blowing him a kiss. Already wrong. Already ill. No. Get it out. Get me out of here. Him catching it. Putting it in his mouth. I'm done. Ew. Ew. I don't like that.
I'd be like,
no, I don't even like that. That is already bad for me. Imagine. Yeah, I was like crawling out of my skin when I was reading that. I was reading it like this. No, don't do that. That was an ick. Then he asked her to prom in front of thousands of people.
yeah. And she so enthusiastically goes like, heck yeah. I'm like,
no. I was reading that and I closed my Kindle and I was like, that's it for me today. Thank you so much for coming. I will not be reading this again. My anxiety was through the roof and it wasn't even happening to me. I don't want to get married. But like I've said this 1,000 times. If you ask me to marry you outside in front of thousands of people.
what about at a Taylor Swift concert? One Direction. Harry Styles.
Why would you ruin that moment for me? This is not about you, sir.
What about when Love Song came on?
How dare you? I saw that happening at the store. I would be so pissed. I would say no to you. Because, like, why are you making this concert, my concert, that I've only seen her once? She only came to Portugal one time. It was this one time. And you're gonna make this about you? You don't know me. Because I don't care about you right now. I care about her. I'm not here for you.
Was that the concert that I gave you? Was that the concert?
Yeah.
Oh.
I always talk about that. You were the reason why I could go to Taylor Swift. It was the best concert I've ever went to, and it only happened because of you. I'm gonna start crying. So,
And we weren't even like friends. I was just like, she needs to go. Like, there's something about this. She just needs to go to this concert. I honestly didn't even know you loved Taylor Swift as much as I did. I was just like, yeah, why not? Like, everyone deserves to go and have fun.
But yeah, if I was with someone and they decided to propose to me at a Taylor Swift concert, the only one I've ever been to, I would have said no immediately. I'll be like, get the fuck out of here. We are done. You don't know me. This is not about you.
What if I got Taylor Swift to say, there's a proposal happening over here?
No,
in a life?
Don't make it about you. I don't want to remember this concert about you. I want to remember it because of her. This is not your moment. This is not our moment. This is our moment. Me and her.
Fair enough.
And also, if One Direction ever got back together and I'm with someone and that person decided to do that on a One Direction concert, they haven't been together in ages. Do you want me to get engaged to you at a One Direction concert? If someone proposed to me in front of people, I'll be like, you don't know me. Because I have anxiety. I have social anxiety. I don't want people to look at me. And this is mainly the reason why I don't want to get married. It's because I don't think I could go down an aisle with everyone looking at me.
You don't have to do that. You can go to the freaking courthouse and...
What's the point of that? The point of a marriage is for you to be with your people on that day.
Yeah, but you can have your most important people at the courthouse with you.
No, I think that's ridiculous.
You have to do the engagement party, you have to do the bridal shower, you have to do the bachelorette party.
Nothing appeals to me. I'm like, that seems a lot of work to commit to one person for the rest of my life.
Yeah, only for...
I don't even know if I like this person this much. No, thank you. I'm 30, and most of my life I didn't even like me.
Same.
You think I'm gonna commit to you for the rest of my life? Girl, I couldn't even commit to me! And I'm stuck with me. I can't change that. Anyway, any controversial takes on this?
It's not really a controversial take. I mean, I think it's just how I read it. Like, this book isn't really like a romance. I think it's more of a coming of age story rather than a romance. The love story is important, but the real journey is them, Larissa and Jasmine, figuring out who they are when they're not performing in front of other people. Also, Jasmine deserved more page time. What about you? Have any controversial takes?
I have basically the same thing, but I said that this is not really a love triangle because it's obvious that she's in love with Jasmine. And I agree, I also have it on my notes, that I think it's about choosing to know yourself, to be true to yourself, rather than choosing between a boy and a girl. Mm-hmm. It's about being the version that is most authentic yourself.
Yeah. Do you have any memorable moments?
I think the flashbacks of the summer where Jasmine and Larissa are together are what makes this book come alive. It was the moments where I'm like, oh, this is interesting. Sometimes I found myself wishing the entire book was the summer things.
Yeah, that's valid. I wish we could have more of the summer.
What about you?
The parents' acceptance. That for me was like a very memorable moment because I think a lot of queer stories, they focus on rejection, conflict, or having to fight for acceptance. And those stories, they're important. So honestly, it was genuinely like refreshing to read one where the adults who mattered responded with understanding, kindness, and love. There wasn't some huge dramatic confrontation. There wasn't a villain. There wasn't people trying to fix anybody. There was this really quiet overall message from all the parents. We care about you and we just want you to be happy. It was refreshing to see supportive parents for once, and I think the girls spent the whole book worrying about what everyone would think, only to find out that the people who love them had already figured it out first and were just waiting for them to
and they were like,
sort it out. Really yeah. And for me, that was beautiful. That was nice.
Is this a reread or just a redraink?
Probably not an immediate reread, but that's mostly because I'm going back to my morally questionable fictional characters after this. That said, I absolutely did enjoy, and I could see myself revisiting when I need something nostalgic and to bring me back to my insecurities from high school. What about you? Is this a reread or a redrink?
I'm redrinking. I don't need to go through another dose of self-discovery. I'm good.
So, did you think there was main character vibes here, or just delusion?
A little bit of both. Lara spends a lot of time convincing herself of things that everyone else can see aren't true. Babe, the signs were there. The signs rented a billboard. The signs were doing cartwheels in front of her. And Lara still spent most of the book going, do I really like Jasmine? And you're there like,
yeah.
Are you joking? Is this a real question? Is this a rhetorical question? Yeah, girl, you are in love with Jasmine. What about you?
I literally wrote both. Both for Larissa. She has some main character energy because she's actively growing and changing. But she's also delusional because she spends half the book completely oblivious to what's directly in front of her. So, we're just giving her a balanced score. Would you recommend it to your grandma?
If grandma enjoys heartfelt young adult romances and isn't afraid of teenage emotional chaos, absolutely. If she only reads like historical fiction and complains when characters text each other, maybe not. What about you?
Honestly, yeah. Like, it's heartfelt, it's emotional, thoughtful, and it has enough nostalgia that I think a lot of readers could connect with it, no matter their age, because it brings you back to the ages when you were younger. My grandmother might have questions about why she's not being obvious about her feelings, but I'd still recommend it.
Alright, that's enough opinions for one episode.
But I have so much more.
We've read.
We've discussed.
But did we fully understand it?
That's still up for debate.
Follow us on everything at Reading Between Wines for more book chaos and questionable takes. I'm Cici.
And I'm Mariana, and we'll see you next Friday with another book.
Another bottle.
And definitely more opinions you didn't ask for.
But need it.
And remember,
drink responsibly.
Actually critique irresponsibly.
Bye.
Bye. It was kind of funny. I'm like, girl, at some point, you just gotta admit you're equally addicted to the chaos at this point, you know? Which, to be fair, is relatable because if a fictional man looked at me with that level of deranged devotion, I too would lose all critical thinking skills for approximately 400 pages. Who did you relate to more?
Nobody, of course. I support them, however, from a very, very safe distance and behind several locked doors. But I'm there like this. I'm watching you guys. I'm watching. I support you. You go, girl. But I will be from over. Do you know that TikTok?